Good morning and welcome back, YouTubers. Here we are. We are looking a little bit orange. One day out from 4 weeks out from the first show. Episode 3, and hopefully stay tuned for this episode because I want to explain how I got banned and why. For those, there's been a few comments about, oh, I thought you were banned. Obviously I overcame my ban. I don't want any doubts going into the show in September, so I'm going to go, oh, hang on, that guy's banned, he shouldn't be on the stage. I have a piece of paper to prove that I'm clean. But anyway, I will pick that up in this video. So I will see you in a bit. Stay tuned. Oh, here we are. Just a quick one. This since the beginning, what's happening in this video, what I'd like to put across. First, you'll see the breakfast that I have. So I'll take you through meal 1 and prep. So 4 weeks and a bit out. So that's the first thing. And the second part, as I mentioned at the beginning, I will talk about the ban. Don't want to go over old ground too much, but I think it's important to stress that I am clear. I have been cleared. I have a piece of paper to prove it. But I just want to make sure people understand, because I don't want to be standing on stage in September and there's people throwing allegations or not. But yeah, so that's the idea of this latest episode, and it is bloody hot, which means I'm sweating a lot here, losing a lot of body fluid, so I'm trying to drink a little bit more than normal. I am down, I am at my lightest at the moment. Got a refeed tomorrow, much needed. It's 8 consecutive days where I've had low carbs. It's been hard, but yeah, I'm still in a good place, so there we go. So tune in to meal 1, and then I'll take you through the ban, or what happened, as briefly as I can. Okay, see you later. So here we are, breakfast, first meal of the day, the most important. So whether you're on a meal plan to go for a show, or just generally in a calorie deficit, you've got to get a good breakfast. You know, I spend not a long, this doesn't take long. People say I haven't got time for a breakfast. It's really important. I start with eggs, and I work my way through 6, 4 whites, 2 yolks. I add also their pink salt. I add a little bit of coriander and black pepper for taste. In the microwave, job done. That's the first part of my breakfast meal. It's obviously getting in the protein. All good. Don't forget the water. I always get in half a litre before I eat to help digestion. Obviously when you wake up in the morning a bit dehydrated. And there we are. There's the eggs already. And you'll notice as well that I use a small spoon. Eat slowly, especially if you're on calorie deficit. The fullness you get from eating slow. Chew your food. Obviously scrambled egg doesn't really chew, but you get my drift. And then the second part is blueberries. Can't get enough of these at the moment. So obviously I do measure all my food while I'm prep. So, you know, I put in a sufficient amount to cover what I need. I think it's something like 24 grams of blueberries. And then I heat them up. So they go into kind of a liquid form. So in they go into the microwave, like so. And then it's measurement time for oats. So I get 100 grams of oats, measure them on there. It's important that you do measure your food, as I say, whether you're preparing for a show or just generally tracking your food. If you don't know what's going in, you can't measure, your results are going to be pretty sporadic as well. So there's 100 grams of oats. And then what I do is, I get out obviously my almond butter. And again, to do that, I weigh that with the jar on the thing. So there goes in the oats. The oats go into the hot blueberries. And then I measure off 15 grams, which isn't quite, well, it's a tablespoon, but to be absolutely accurate, I minus off from the jar. I take out 15 grams less. So it minuses, so you can get a scale that can do that. It's really handy. So then I know for sure, there we go, there's 15 grams of almond butter. So there's my fats. And then I mix it, a little bit more mixing going on here. It's all about getting the right thing. So it's not quite ready yet, it's still a bit watery. So stick it in the microwave a little bit more, just to get that. I don't want it thicky and gloopy like porridge. It's only obviously for me, I like it a certain way. But obviously it's nice to be able to have it at the right level. And then I enter my whey. So 1 scoop of that, which is about 21 grams of protein going in there. So obviously I've had protein from eggs. So you can see my breakfast is high calorie, high carb, high protein. As I say, it gets you through the day. My workouts generally are mid-morning. I get another meal in pre-workout, so I'm pretty much ready to go, and I utilize those extra carbs for the workout. Yeah, a little bit of hot water, not quite right. It's like it's an art now. Done this every morning for the last 4 or 5 months. I do in the off season have bagels and other things as well, just to fill out the volume. Obviously taking in more calories, not in a calorie deficit, but right now. So there we go. Give it a nice stir, and it's pretty much there, ready to go. So that's the second part of breakfast. And there we go, look, small spoon, take your time, do slow. Make sure it goes in nice and slow. And then I finish off with a black coffee. Alright, so here we are. We're actually on refeed day. I'm doing a catch up. So slightly more energized than I was yesterday. Still very muggy. After swallowed a fly. Nice. Yeah. So yeah, there's no wind at all, but I've got 4 meals in so far, taking about 250 grams of carbs. Have tried something new as well. So tried designer rice pudding, which is semolina really. I remember having semolina at school. Put a little bit of jam in the middle, stir it, make it go pink. Added some chocolate whey, and it was like, oh, and it's really light, and it's 83 grams per 100 grams. So I've got a little sachet, just a little tester, and 83 grams of carbs went in, so that really bolstered everything without the excess feeling you get. So if you have obviously lots of oats, they can fill your stomach quick because they're, is it water soluble? Insoluble. Bit of carried water in it, it'll basically thicken your stomach, make digestion low, and make you feel really full. Whereas these were very light, fluffy, nice texture, and easy to digest. So, and I got 83 grams of carbs, so I'm quite pleased about that. So yeah, so just I'm breaking up my steps today. So just trying to manage that fatigue, because so I was extremely low this morning. A combination of 8 days straight. So the plan going forward, obviously I'm 4 meals in, probably get another 2, and probably push that carbs up to about 350, 400 possibly by the end of the day. Again, body needs it. I've got a push session tomorrow, so we go in like less than 4 weeks, 3 weeks and a bit, where I can hopefully, not next week, I will go hard, very hard, for probably 5 days, and then have another refeed, see where I'm sitting, see where I am, and then I'll probably just start to scale back in terms of my steps, manage that fatigue even better. So the last 2 weeks just ease back. I've got to remember the season as well doesn't end at the end of June, it carries on till September, so it's about peaking at the right time. September's the one. And just on that point, as I said I would, obviously the UKDFBA UK Finals, International Finals, September the 21st, I think. That'll be 8 weeks after the IBFA in Bristol. But of course, you know, that elation of stepping on stage, where 3 years ago, and this is where I'm just going to explain how I got banned, and I will post up the certificate to show that I have passed a polygraph and that I am eligible to stand on a natural stage again, just in case anyone puts their hand up in September, hang on a minute, that guy's banned. No, I am now clear. So I had a 7-year ban, and I did 2 years of the 7, and had it rescinded because I passed a polygraph. Now, that's what I failed. So back in 2022, having a good season, having gone to Italy with the UKDFBA for the Worlds, great few days there, feeling really good. And there was discussion at the time, because everyone was talking about it, the WNBF UK were launching their biggest ever UK finals, most competitors ever. So I had my head turned, but obviously they tapped me up and said, you know, come to the show. I wasn't thinking, oh yeah, that's going to be a great show. It was more a case of, well, it's a week before the UKDFBA finals, be a good warm up. You know, that's all I was thinking of it. I wasn't thinking of, oh yeah, they do the Worlds in California, I better do, you know, that, and then the Vegas Olympia. It wasn't, you know, it was just like, no, not even on my mind. So I thought, okay, I'll jump into that show. And there was loads of signs already that weekend that I should have stepped away. I couldn't find the venue to start with. And then the morning of the show and the evening before, the tanning debacle, you know, there was no running order. It's a free-for-all. And then actually trying to locate my class exactly when it was. There was loads of people laying down in corridors, blocking fire exits. There's too many competitors. It was just chaos. And I nearly missed my class. I kind of dashed backstage and, you know, got ready in about 2 seconds. So, you know, there were signs there. I should have just sacked it off. I was feeling tetchy. I was feeling grumpy, and I thought this isn't a good experience. Every experience I've done over 20 shows before that. Every one I enjoyed immensely. Wherever I placed, I just love I love the idea of competing and getting in shape. Anyway, so I did the show. I got second, which is, I thought that gave me some confidence as well. I thought that's good, and tried my new routine. I was ready for the UKDFBA show on the Sunday the following week. Went back to the hotel, and I had my polygraph at 8 o'clock at night, which is like, oh, okay, fine. So I went back, pretty relaxed, fed myself up as well, so should be okay. Was very tired though, mind you. And he failed me. Not once, twice, 3 times. And shaking my head, I just couldn't understand. The worst thing about it is that before I went in there was a young lad in his 20s, and they wouldn't let him do the test unless he got cash, 60 quid cash. Now if you think there's 180 odd competitors, 60 quid a pop, it was just literally money making. And it just stunk to high heaven, the whole thing. And the polygraph test itself was a joke. I was literally like 10 minutes, and then he just said I was deceptive. Didn't show me the graph. I should have asked for it. I should have demanded it. When you're in a little bit of a state where you're tired, or certainly after a long day, I was been up since like 4, and depleted and always tired after a show. But couldn't believe it. The second time he sent me away, and I had like 2 glasses of wine, so the actual polygraph at that point was just meaningless. And then I spoke to the head honcho, I want to call it that, and he said, well, how do you think the guy who finished 3rd, 4th and 5th feel? And I said, well, how do you think I feel? I said, don't call me a cheat. So I'm not a cheat. He said, well, I'm just going to have a chat with the polygrapher. Didn't really give me any instructions, stay there, we'll march you and have a urine sample, which would have been the most sensible thing, because I had a urine sample before, and you march the toilet, and it's all done very strictly, and I would have happily done that. Well, he's left me, so I went back to the hotel, thought, well, he can call me. And then I left the hotel, and then amazingly enough, on the Wednesday I got a call from Lee Kemp, saying that he'd received a letter from WBF UK saying that I had fled the scene and I was banned. And I was just like, I couldn't believe it. I was just like, Jesus, you are joking me. Just literally stitched right up. And I understood Lee's position. It's very awkward for him. He couldn't allow me to go on stage. And the thing is, a guilty man, if I'd been taking drugs, I would have not I would not have paid for my hotel airline ticket to go to Budapest for the Europeans, which was after the UKDFBA Finals, so this is 3 or 4 weeks later. And also I'd also booked my entry to the Olympia in Vegas in November or December or whatever it was. So I'd already prepared for the rest of the season. This was literally just like a little warm-up before I attempted to try and crack that top 5, which I felt I had a chance that season. Even though it's such a hard competition to win, and anyway. So yeah, I went to Budapest. Cheered on Johnny and stuff. He got second that year, and but I was just empty inside. I was like, this is just not right. Stewed on it for another 10 months. I did a couple of shows the following season, but I wasn't allowed to step on any natural stage, so other feds came in and said, oh, we've developed a natural class. But it was, it's not say it's weak, because the 2 competitors I competed were they're UKDFBA top 5, so they're class, but they're just not enough. You can't compete with 2 or 3 other competitors. You need a lineup, so that would take quite a few years to develop, mature. So that winter, that Christmas, so 2 Christmases ago, I reached out to Lee. He came back and said he knows. He obviously is very close to an ex-FBI. Lives in London, works in London. He's going to do a polygraph for you. Took me 90 minutes to do the test, proper test, thorough, understood the process. Even though I was nervous, he explained to me exactly what I needed to do, answer no to everything, 4 whole life questions. It all made perfect sense, even though, like I say, my heart was going like 10 to a dozen. I think, oh God, if I fail this again, then that's it, I'm done. And he passed me, not deceptive, got a certificate, and I will post that after this vlog, just so people are absolutely clear. But that was going through a pretty rigorous process, not a 10-minute test at the end of a show where all they're interested in is taking your cash. It's made me very nervous since, and you know, even if I was to think, oh yeah, I'll do the PCA Natural or other federations, I don't know what the outcome would be. It'd be exactly the same. So you know, as I say, I've got the chance to go back on stage now in September, just stand on that stage. Doesn't matter where I place, I don't want to, I just want to do myself justice, obviously, come in as best shape as I can and not worry about anything else, but just that feeling of, yeah, do you know what, you can't stop me. And it's just a message for anyone who's left with a barrier or a challenge, whatever that might be in life. You know, just if you really want something, you find a way, and you know, you've got that desire, and you do need that desire, especially when you're getting ready to competition. You know, that day in, day out slog. You've got to have a really strong reason. So there we are. So yeah, that's how. So these last 3 years have been quite difficult from the respective competition. You know, not everything else in life and that is all good, but it does have an effect mentally when it comes to that, because it's on your mind. You just think, how the hell? So yeah, so that's where we are. I'm going to leave it there now because I'm close to town, and I'll sign off, and I'll see you for the next episode, which will be episode 4, and I'll be closer to show day, IBFA. Really looking forward to that. Great memories as well with them. You know, so to get back on stage with them would be great because they always organise really well. So that's a nice little trip down to Bristol, a little bit of a mini holiday for me, and then they'll be back to it with about 8 weeks to go. As I say, that emotional feeling I'll have, I picture it in my head, show day, show morning, getting on stage at the UKDFBA, listening to Lee's voice. It's in my head. It's like I've done it already. I've done it 1,000 times in my head, just standing there. So when I actually do, it'll feel quite surreal. Anyway, leaves me to end this video. Hope you find it useful, and just leaves me to say, stay well, stay healthy. See you again soon.